Hey guys, I'm Ariana. If you're new here, if you're not, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video, I am going to show you guys the easiest way to do a cut crease. I've been saying in all of my intros, I know that we're all stuck at home in quarantine, and I'm tired of saying that, but it's true. Someone requested for me to do this, so I will do it. Ask and you shall receive. If you guys have any other suggestions, please let me know and I will hop right on that. Just washed my hair, so it is looking pretty rough right now. Excuse my appearance. I know a lot of people are not wearing makeup right now, but this is a time for people to be creative, learn new things, productive with their time. So the only palette that I'm going to be using today is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. So I'm going to be using this one because it does have a lot of neutral brown tones. So I'm going to be doing a really neutral cut crease. But if you guys want to do a colorful cut crease, you definitely can. But I'm just going to be using the brown matte tones in this palette. And it's going to be super quick and easy. Okay, so you guys are super close. So we're going to start doing this. So I'm going to start off with this shade right here, which is called Hazelnut. So this is going to be my transition shade. I'm really not going to be using a lot of shades. I'm only going to be using about 4 shades, so like I said, this is going to be super easy. And the first brush that I'm going in with, it will be this one. So it is really tapered off and it is a really kind of smaller blending brush, so it really gives you a lot of control and it does work for blending really well. I'm gonna dip into the transition shade. So I got about this much product on the brush. I don't know if you can see it, but it does coat the whole head of the brush. I also don't have any base or anything on my eyelid, so I'm actually going to start right in the middle of my crease and my brow bone, and I'm just going to swipe the color on there with windshield wiper motions. And I'm also going to bring it in toward the inner corner of my eye, and then I'm also going to extend it out toward right under my brow bone, and then I'm just going to flick it out just a little bit. So I'm just going to keep adding the color just so you can see it, and I'm just going to go in the same areas in the same motions. I'm also going to release some pressure when I get up more toward the brow bone, just so the shadow looks like it's dissipating and it is blending out really nicely. So I'm going to focus most of the color and the pressure right at the beginning and closer to the lash line, so everything closer to the lash line is going to be the darkest. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, focusing most of the product on the middle of the eye, and I'm going in the whole area in my inner corner. I'm going to flick it out toward the outer corner, and then I'm going to try and diffuse the eyeshadow up toward the brow bone and just make it look really blended. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade Milk Chocolate right here. It's more of a brown shade and it is darker than this last transition shade that I have on. So I'm just going to pick up some product on my brush and I'm going to tap off the excess. And then I'm going to start right under where I applied the last shade. And I'm going to go in the same exact shape and try and blend them together. So I'm just going to drag the shadow into my inner corner, and then I'm going to flick it outward, but I'm also trying to leave some room so you can see the last color that I applied. And I'm using a very light hand, and I'm just going to try and blend these two together. When I do get into my darker shades, I do like to bring them into my nose contour just a little bit on the inner corner of my eye, just to make the contour mesh a little bit better. So we're going to keep blending and blending. If you do feel that your last shade has been lost, you can definitely go back in with some more of that transition shade and just put it right over the place where the two shades meet and just blend them together. And just make sure there are no harsh lines and that it blends really seamlessly. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I also want to mention that when you do go into deeper shades, when you're going more towards your crease, you do want to make sure that you don't get any of the dark shades on your actual lid just for this method, because we won't be going in with any concealer, which is why I feel like this way of doing a cut crease is really easy. So we're going to flick it outward and then we're just going to blend the two shades together. I'm just going to apply a little bit more of the transition shade just to blend them together and make sure that you see both colors. Also, when you do this, you want to make sure you don't bring it up too high up to your brow bone, because dark colors in this area will just ruin the whole look, because this is one of the highest points on your face and you do want it to be as light as possible. So for the next shade, I am going to be going in with a different brush. So I'm going to be taking this brush right here, which is a shader brush. So for the last darkest shade, I'm going to go in with this one, which is a cool toned dark brown. I also am going to tap off the excess from this just to make sure that no fallout goes onto my lid. So I'm actually just going to follow my crease and just create outline of the crease. And this is going to be the darkest shade that we're putting on. You can definitely go darker, use different colors, and just make it your own. And I'm also going to flick it out just slightly. I don't want to flick it out too crazy because this is the darkest shade, so I want everything to blend really nicely. So I'm going to bring it in the inner corner, and then I'm just going to do windshield wiper motions and try to blend it in with the last two shades. So I'm actually going to pack it on using horizontal windshield wiper motions, and then when I want to blend it into the last shade, I'm actually going to flip the brush from here to here, and I'm going to try and blend it in with the last two shades. So using the brush flat allows me to create a precise line, and then flipping it over allows me to blend it in. So now that I've gotten it as dark as I want it to be, as blended as I like, I'm going to be taking another flat brush. So this is the same shape as the other one, but it is more compact. So I'm actually going to take this shade right here, which is the lightest shade, White Chocolate. This is my brush right now with the product on it, and I'm just going to cut my crease with the shadow. So I like to start from the beginning, and I just like to pack the shadow on there and then just follow the shape of my crease. I'm going to pick a little bit more up, and then I'm just going to create the actual shape. I'm just going back and forth from packing motions to wiping motions just to really get this shade on there. I do want a harsh line outlining my crease. At the end, we're just going to flick it upward and kind of cut that line. So I am going to go back in and lighten up the shadow that goes right onto the place where I'm cutting my crease, just to make it stand out a little bit more. Alright, and that is the cut crease. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I know that it is hard to be precise and symmetrical, especially when using just powder. So I'm actually going to go in with an angled brush just like this one. And I'm going to go into the last darkest shade that I have, just taking a little bit of product on the tip of the brush, and I'm actually going to define the crease just a little bit. So I'm using the lightest amount of pressure, and I'm just going to try and outline where my crease is, just so you can see it that much more. And I'm also going to try to make these two eyes symmetrical. Okay, so the last step is I'm going to take my fluffy brush that I was using to blend the first two shades, and I'm actually going to take the shade White Chocolate, and I'm just going to run that over my crease one more time just to make sure that there's no patchiness. I'm also going to go in with my shading brush, and I'm just going to give this transition area one last run through just to blend everything in a little bit more. But if you're happy with it, you can definitely stop here. I also like to take my MAC 224 brush and just run it through one more time just to blend everything in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop on some liner and lashes, and then we will be done. So this is the final look. I actually put on some mascara and some liner. So this is the final look. I also do want to mention, if you do feel like the ends are a little bit muddy, you can definitely take a concealer brush with some concealer on it and just wipe it under, and then it will create a really nice wing effect. So this is the final look. This is the easy cut crease result. I really hope that you guys like this video. Definitely try this out. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. I will definitely answer them for you. Okay guys, that was it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. If you guys have any other video suggestions, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can go ahead and leave a like down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!